Hi guys, and welcome back to Trilby is impersonating a white woman in a horror film. Fucking tripping over the closest thing he can. Also you'll notice that the demon advanced closer. I saved the game, and he got a little bit closer. Not desirable. So I presume this is a panic situation with 287 scrawled. It's all part of a dream, part of a hallucination. Right, okay. Just going to casually see what happens. Hi! Okie dokie! This concludes the text of the notes found in the Clan Bronwyn Hotel on August 4th. I would consider that to be unfortuitous. Okie dokie. Look, demon. The tall man looked just as he did in my visions. Stupidly tall and thin, as if he had been taken in two giant hands and stretched. Nothing in his face or body betrayed any emotion as he approached. Talk to demon. The demon seemed beyond reason. Ask demon about... Okie dokie. Can I yell at demon? Punch demon. Okay. Punch demon. That's not what I intended at all, but that was actually a better move, I'm sure. Siobhan was out cold but uninjured. She would probably be safe on her bed while I continued my investigation. Well, folks, it had to be done. Failing to kick the demon would have resulted in, I presume death. I would rather not have a demon's hand plunge into my virtual body again. If we could avoid that, that'd be cool with me. Yeah. Look at her. I considered myself lucky that I was not as skilled in unarmed combat as I thought. That's great. Look, bag. It's a perfectly ordinary student's backpack for carrying books and personal possessions. Open bag. Under the circumstances, she probably wouldn't mind. There were a few textbooks, a half-empty water bottle, and a large folder marked O'Malley Family History. This, I decided, was my quarry. I flipped through the pages until I reached the information relevant to the 18th century, and read my discoveries out loud. The Liverpool-based O'Malley Shipping Company ran for 3 generations of the family in the mid to the late 18th century until the loss of one of their clippers drove the company to bankruptcy. The owner at the time, Jacob O'Malley, placed the blame somewhat irrationally on a shipping crate which family legend alleged to be haunted and that had been on the ship at the time. Jacob. Lovely name. Makes sense. There are numerous tales of bizarre events surrounding the crate, and the story of the crate's origin is no less mysterious. It goes that a strange young man came to a carpenter's at the Liverpool dockyards with a very expensive-looking harpsichord, which he insisted be smashed up, and the wood used for whatever purpose the carpenter desired. He refused to leave until the instrument had been utterly broken into its component parts in front of his eyes, and the wood sent to be made into crates for O'Malley Shipping. When pressed for his name, the man identified himself as one Jack Freehorn, I guess? Okay, the Rooms of Jack, July 18th. That date again, 1778. Oh good, 2 years after the War of the Colonies started. So, what trifle have you been wasting your father's money on now, Jack? What does it look like? It looks like a virginal. A harpsichord, actually, in the Flemish style. Quite old. Quite expensive. Well, I suppose I should be grateful that something is distracting you from the occult for once. I fear you may be speaking too soon, my friend. Oh God, I should have known. You and your silly obsession. So, what devilry inhabits this magnificent instrument? The instrument as a whole is for the most part untainted by the ethereal realm. But its keys are what spark my interest. Unusually, they have been carved from centuries-old English oak. And that's the interesting part? I will not be disheartened by that sharp tongue of yours. The wood has gone through many incarnations before being incorporated into this device. Items of furniture, building material, in fact, just over 200 years ago, it was part of a wall. A wall of a certain inn on a well-traveled road in Wales. The Unicorn. Oh boy. The plot thickens. Your correspondents persist in filling your head with rubbish about ghosts and demons. I count myself very lucky to have tracked down even a small part of that hostelry. I know I've already told you some of the wonderful stories attached to it. And this instrument has had its fair share of mysterious happenings. The usual batch of strange noises, sudden madness, and inexplicable deaths. See sense, my friend. This curiosity of yours for all things ungodly has no doubt already befouled your immortal soul. You are a fine fellow, Wilbur, but you have not a drop of romance in your body. Now stop browbeating me for my inquiring mind, and let us take dinner. Okie dokie. That night, Jack was stirred from his bed by the sound of music emanating from his new instrument. His first thought was anger, mostly because the harpsichord was an antique, never intended to be played. But then he listened to the haunting melancholy tune, and felt his stomach roll inexplicably with fear. Who's down there? Wilbur, is that you? Oh, fuck me. Fuck, I got fucking goosebumps listening to that. Fuck this. It might have made sense in another time and place, but not then. Jack would never be able to sleep while that music was playing through the house. Die in a fire. Look, Jack Freehorn was a man of modest means and desired little for comfort. The only pieces of furniture to speak of were a bed and a desk. What is that on the desk? Can I save just in case? Oh, no matter. Let's go down there anyway. The sparsely furnished room below Jack's bedroom was dominated now by his new harpsichord. The same instrument was now being tormented with the spindly hands of the emaciated intruder. Look at Demon. The tall man was playing a haunting melody on the harpsichord. Except for his hands, his body was completely still. Ask Demon about harpsichord. Jack knew that any attempt to interact with the creature could spell disaster. I'm holding a candle, right? This is a good idea, right? Jack could not take a step further, because he realized with a lurch that he recognized the dark figure that sat at the keys. He had read of this strange entity that recurred frequently in stories surrounding the Unicorn Inn, and the objects that were later constructed from its wood. And he knew, with absolute certainty, that the tall man would destroy him, were he not destroyed first. Okay, so I definitely can't go any further. Throw candle at tall man. Well, I'll be right back. Surely I have something up here. That looks like a gun. Look, desk. Jack's desk was covered untidily in letters, notes, and papers he had been studying lately. A flintlock pistol, given to Jack by his father, lay gathering dust atop a pile of correspondence. Look, letters. A disorganized collection of writings pertaining to the occult, particularly the strange events that surrounded the Unicorn Inn in the 16th century. Read letters. Okay. Look, pistol. It was all an old pistol, never once used, but Jack always kept it loaded. Imagine trying to fucking sleep with that. That's right, children. You go download the special edition of this game, you get the soundtrack of it. The songs included along in that. Turn off the lights in your room. Just let this play on loop. Especially with the whispers in the background. Shoot, tall man. You won't take me, demon! Wilbur? No. Oh God, no. But I could have sworn. You! I know you. You have... Oh God. Please forgive me, your majesty, for my transgressions. I can't read it as excitedly as he will. I am a worthless, craven fool, not worth a second of your precious time. I beg you, spare me. I will redeem myself for my offense. I'll be yours forever, my body, mind, and soul. I'll be damned. We haven't seen mercy by the prince thus far. I presume that's who it is. Identified himself as one Jack Freehorn, especially since Jack called him his majesty. This may very well have been okay. For one, depraved group of paganist worshippers who were spoken of with much derision by conventional society. With my latest flashback, my knowledge of the history of the cursed wood gained another step. Before the crate, it had been a harpsichord, and sometime before the harpsichord, it had been part of some kind of hostelry in Wales. An inn called the Unicorn. Why did that ring a bell somewhere in my recent memory? I'd definitely seen something in the hotel that was linked to the place. But where? Oh, by the way, she's gone. Great. Looks like we've got another paper here. Victim 3, Freehorn. The third man who desired judgment was Freehorn, who had bought from those who made luxuries with the wood that was the prince's soul. The prince came and struck down the lover of Freehorn, and Freehorn knew the name of the king. And Freehorn said, I know you now, O prince who was the arrogant man, and I anticipate your wish, and I will devote myself to spreading the teachings you have brought me and the love of our king. And the prince was satisfied, and Freehorn called all those who would listen, and they formed an order of blessed agonies. I would work to redeem the follies of the men of technology. Okie dokie. I think that's a great time to save the game. We'll keep going for a little bit, though. We'll head to our next destination, which I believe is that Unicorn Inn sign. I believe. So, we're learning a lot more about this, and that fucking harpsichord tune is still stuck in my head. Do 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 do. God damn, tall man. That is... Oh, fuck. This is not what I wanted to see. From somewhere to the west, I heard the familiar sound of a door being unlocked. Interesting. I do not want to deal with it. Eat. I took another pill and waited for the anxiety to lift, but it did not. To my unending concern, I realized that the decay of the alternate hotel had spread. either to me or the pills, and they no longer worked. I had to find a way to restore their effect, or at least another method of calming myself. Lakeman? Duh! Oh, god damn it. I'm having fucking visions like in 7 Days Skeptic. He's dead. He's already dead, isn't he? Fuck. Okay, I guess I'm going to go through this door then. And I really wish I hadn't. What had once been a kitchen was now some kind of torture room. I found myself wondering whether it was used for extracting information, or merely to entertain the alternate hotel's hellish proprietor. Look, knives? An array of unpleasant-looking utensils hung from a series of hooks, drooling fresh blood down the wall. I really am not a fan of that. Look, body. A horribly tormented soul was still lying on the central counter, limbs arranged oddly from spasms of agony. Look, window. The sole window looked out on an orange-tinted backyard in a state of advanced disrepair. Look, door. There were 3 doors. The door back to the dining hall, a fire exit, and a third destroyed door beyond which stone steps led downwards. Open door. The emergency door refused to budge. It appeared to be jammed. Okay. Well, save like a pansy. Open door. I do not like the look of that. The grimy cellar had been abandoned for some time. A large section of floor was torn away. The worn-down area had been conquered by a swarm of greasy black beetles. Look, beetles. Each was about the size of a child's fist. I do not want that image in my head. Oh my God. You'll have to give me a few seconds to recover, folks. I am failing to block that out of my brain. They scuttle back and forth across the floor, slipping in and out of heavy cracks in the foundations. Looking at them made me feel quite nauseous. I am not comfortable in the dark right now. Look, body. At least 2 individuals had met with sticky ends down here. One of them had been almost completely picked clean by the beetles. The other I noticed was heavily decayed except for its hand, which was fresh and pink. What? That's fucking awkward too. I wonder if this had something to do with the puddle of water it was lying in. We know I gotta do it, folks. I regret everything. That was a terrifying image. Not as terrifying as knowing that each of those beetles was the size of a child's fist. Unfortuitous. So, knowing that, could I possibly use meat on beetles? Oh, good. Good. I don't know if this is gonna be timed, so I better fucking make this quick. Body. Okay. Look, hand. Okay. Look, water. In the far corner of the room was a puddle of water, created by drips from above. It had a curious color to it, and the drops seemed to glow with their own illumination. The liquid was having a strange effect on a nearby corpse. Uh, drink water? It was almost as if the water was drawing me to it. Not like a scrabbling thing in my mind like the chisel or the painting, but more like a beckoning siren. I couldn't help myself. I crouched down and dipped my hand in. It felt uncommonly refreshing, and brought an amount up to my lips, my unhygienic surroundings forgotten, as a pleasant feeling of simultaneous coolness and warmth spread from my stomach. I realized that the water had some sort of rejuvenating effect. I had no explanation for this, but at the time I didn't care. I was beginning to feel, in the back of my mind, the familiar tickling sensation that indicated a reality shift, so I swiftly scooped a few drops of the liquid into my pill bottle, shaking it to the remaining pills. I hope I never run out of those. Okay, so, look. The hotel cellar was lit up by a single spotlight, and seemed almost completely bare but for some dusty cardboard crates and a wine rack. Look, crates. Small selection of storage boxes, no doubt full of useless trinkets, were the only furniture. Wine rack. The wine rack was severely understocked. Only one bottle remained, a dusty green one. Look, wine bottle. Look, bottle. It was a recent vintage, but not an unpleasant one. I'm sure I could use that. Get bottle. Obviously, if you get drunk, it'll help you relax. If you relax, you'll avoid the doom that is the tall man. And the do. Come on! How do you not know this? Alright, folks, we're gonna save looking for the unicorn for next time. That was enough excitement. Remember that, children. Beetles the size of a child's fist. At least they weren't the size of my fist. Then I'd really have some fucking problems.